Hey there folks, Champesk here bringing another audio commentary. Today I'm going to be doing a human versus elf game between Palm and Rain, I believe. Yes, Rain. You probably know Rain quite well. I'm not familiar with Palm, but certainly this is apparently a very good game, so I assume that he plays well, and hopefully we'll get a pretty good quality game out of this. Yeah, this is a game on Terranistan, which is traditionally quite a good map for human. I mean, that first expansion can be really easy, and what you used to see, at least, is you used to see your opponent, or the human, would either go for one of these corner mines, and then they go for their obvious sort of close mine as their second one, just because it's a bit easier to creep. And once you have your first one, it's a bit easier to sort of get your map control and just really hold it. And so we're gonna have to see exactly what Palm goes for in this, but that can really be a deciding factor in these games. Also, I think it's possible we'll see tanks. I'm not quite sure what we're going to be seeing yet, but certainly tanks are always an option if sort of a bit boring. Moon recently has been, whenever he's played on this map, has sort of tried to go for weird strategies. Like last time I saw him play versus human on this map, he actually went for a really fast, sneaky chimeras, sort of really quick, and just sort of completely playing really sneakily. We are actually seeing the Warden here from Rain. This is sort of probably the best map for Warden. There's all these little river bits it can jump over with Blink, and it can get you can do some pretty good creeping. Obviously, Rain will be creeping at this first camp here, and generally we'll see him walk over that Ancient of War and maybe creep at this other camp, because you do want to get a high level Warden. Level 1 Warden isn't particularly good. I assume we're going to be seeing the Archmage. Yeah, we are seeing the Archmage for Palm, although Mountain King is sort of a viable option versus Elf on this map. And looks like Rain is scouting with one Wisp here, has a second Wisp here. I guess he can put up an Ancient of War just to do a lot of extra creeping, really get that Warden to a higher level, and that Warden is now out, and Rain actually not rallying at a bit of a surprise. Wasted maybe a couple seconds, but he's probably paying attention to the creeping. Certainly it's not the end of the road for him, and he won't actually lose much time at all, sort of less than a second really, probably, in terms of actual time, just because his Ancient of War will have been slightly better microed perhaps. And he picks up a Claws of Attack first. That's very nice for him. Meanwhile, excuse me, Palm is now using the Lightning Shield on his Archmage. He's going to need to be sure to move that Archmage. He does it just in time, very nicely there. You can see he damaged those 8 Apprentice Wizards quite a bit, and will get his level 2 very sharpish, and has also managed to tank all that creep on his Water Elemental, so some pretty good creeping there by Palm. Ring of Protection, less good, especially against the Warden, where you're going to be getting a lot of damage, magic damage, which the ring won't really affect. And Rain is now a level 2 as well. Picked up a Cloak of Shadow. It's really useless. Obviously he'll probably sell it when he's rooted the Ancient of War, so he's not going to continue creeping. Maybe he's worried about some pushing from the human, even though he is scouting currently, and Rain is now scouting that this camp is being crept by Lith, and Rain doesn't manage to get a detonate there, so Lith gets a small amount of extra experience. And if Lith then goes on to creep out this camp here, he will get level 3. And meanwhile, Rain is now creeping out this one camp here. Obviously you might pick up some mercs. I think that'd probably be good. Shadow Priests are obviously very good against those water elementals. Berserkers are just good in general, and there really aren't any other creeps or any other mercs you can pick up at this point. And yeah, he does pick up one Shadow Priest, no Berserker, but maybe he doesn't have the gold or food yet. He is teching. He should be able to pick one up fairly soon if he wants to, but maybe he won't. Maybe he'll decide that he's just going to stick with archers and go for some sort of slightly different strategy. Meanwhile, Palm is actually teching. Certainly it's not unheard of on this map, but generally you do want to an expansion is pretty easy to secure on this map, and so that's why you do often see it. But maybe since he's going against a Warden who is going to be level 3 now, or pretty close to level 3, and will be level 3 very quickly, he just decided to play a bit more defensively. And Lith actually picking up Sentry Wars and putting one here. It's a very nice position because it's right at the mouth of this sort of little bridge here. It's going to mean that he's going to see everything that Rain brings out from that side of the map, and Rain now coming in actually stealing that level 3, and so he will now have actually I'm not sure if he's picked his skills yet. Even I haven't seen what he has picked his skills. Sorry, I don't think I remember what he's actually done though. Oh no, he does have Shadow Strike. Sorry, I'm being blind. Yeah, he does have Shadow Strike. Obviously Phantom Vibes is good against expanding humans, and I guess Rain realized that he must not be expanding, or maybe he scattered it out, and so he's decided just to skill up, pick up all his skills, including Blink, which is a bit odd, but it seems like that's what he's done. And it looks like Rain will now just continue to try and focus down on this Archmage. Obviously the Archmage does have a boot, so it will just force the Archmage to run away rather than actually get the kill by the looks of things, because Rain doesn't actually have a boot himself, and you can't afford just to be using level 1 Blink just to try and chase down an Archmage. And we are seeing tech just finishing now for Palm, and should be finishing, yeah, just finishing now for Rain as well. Rain actually forgetting his Hunter's All. This is very careless by him. It's going to mean that he's not going to have any Ancient of Lores. He might go for Ancient of Winds. He might change up his strategy. Ancient of Winds don't really work out that well with a Warden though, so he might just wait a bit. Meanwhile, he is building an expansion now, and he will probably just try and creep this, maybe without his hero. Oh, maybe he is bringing in his hero now. It would be quite clever if he could distract Palm with his Warden while creeping that expansion out with this Ancient of War and these units. Oh, maybe that's not his plan at all. Although no, he's now turned his Warden back. I'm not sure what his plan was there. Maybe he was trying to pick up a hero but didn't have enough gold or food or something. And it looks like Rain now is getting at sort of either an expansion I imagine an expansion attempt, but possibly just creeping. But it looks like Rain actually being dusted now as well, so being forced to get out of there. He does have a greater invulnerability potion, but he's certainly not going to burn that on anything but the most dire of situations. And Tree of Life is now finishing. Mantle of Intelligence drop there as well. That'll be very nice for Rain if he can go back and pick it up at some point. Obviously, intelligence is just so important for the Warden, because all of her damage really comes from that those spells that she has. Excuse me. And we are now seeing an expansion attempt by Lith, I imagine, although this Warden might now scare away those militia, just because we could eventually see the entire army of Rain coming in. I'm not sure if Palm knows that Rain doesn't have his or had a really late Hunter's Haul, and we are now seeing 2 lightning shields actually, and Lith not quite moving far enough away, but very nicely played there by Rain actually. I'm not sure if you saw that, but he did manage to steal that move of the Magi. Some very, very clever play there by him. Actually, not just careless, clever, but just sort of being a bit bold there, assuming that he wouldn't be in any trouble. And it looks like Rain, meanwhile, has managed to creep out this one cap while keeping Palm sufficiently distracted, and so he might manage to get out this expansion, although Palm must know that Rain's units must be somewhere, and the lores are now just coming up, or at least one, yeah, both lores are just coming up, and Rain has started his tier 3 tech as well, so he will be seeing that pretty soon. And Rain has bought a potion of invisibility as well. 1 charge left on the dust for Lith, or for Palm, but he hasn't used it, and I guess he's just going to save it for later. Maybe for when he's next actually creeping, and he thinks that the Warden will be around. Lumber Mill going up. We are now seeing Rifleman as well, so we might actually Rifleman and Sorks. Maybe we're going to be seeing a tower push right now, because Lith is bringing in some militia here, and it looks like that's what Rain's thinking at least. Rain getting bolted there, trying to take down Warden, but it looks like this one priest will manage to keep that Sork alive, unless Rain actually being very bold here, using his invulnerability potion and a Shadow Strike just to take down that one sorceress, and that's just because it's so important to take them down, because just sort of a small amount of slow can really slow down your army. And so Rain is now pumping, actually only getting drieds from 1 Ancient of Lore, not enough gold quite yet. I guess it's because he's just set up the expansion, and so it looks like he'll be under a bit of pressure here with this tower push. First guard tower is already going up, and so this could be very bad for Rain. He doesn't really have much of an army. He doesn't have any ancient protectors. He only has a couple ranged units, and they do all do piercing damage, so it's going to be nice against all these towers that are currently building, and the sorcerers, and sorry, the casters. But level 4 Warden and level 1 Panda being brought out now as well. Rain actually using Blink. I guess he has level 2 Blink now, so he can afford to just use the mana, and not dropping his Mantle of Intelligence though when using a Moonwell. Bit of a mistake there, but not sort of too terrible. And this one Wisp actually just sort of not being microed, but still managing to stay alive. And level 2 on that Mountain King now, so this is not looking good for Rain really. I mean, he's going to really need to stall for as long as possible, let his expansion pay off. No Wisps on this Entangled Gold Mine though. This could be very bad for Rain if he doesn't really pay attention to what's actually happening here. And meanwhile, an invulnerability potion being used by that Warden, just trying to chase down these this one Rifleman, and it looks like he might try and take down another, but no, he does. Yes, he does finally use Shadow Strike there, and he is now bringing in his Ancient of War. Obviously, Ancient of War very nice against those towers. You can just root it next to it. Panda goes down, actually very bad for Rain here at this point. But those that Ancient of War, he's also very good against those Riflemen as well. And these Mountain King just continue to tear things up. Lots of Wisp being brought in, presumably just to heal off his Ancient of War. Maybe detonate if another Water Elemental comes out, but that won't be for a little while at least. Although Archmage is pretty close to level 4, and that might give him the boost just to get one more water elemental out. Looks like these two Dryads do go down in rapid succession. Level 4 on that Archmage, that water elemental does come out. Maybe we'll see some detonates here, I'm not quite sure. Palm isn't actually taking down these wisps, finally switching focus to the wisps, really the obvious target here, and he has managed to take down 2 now, a third will go down, and looks like Rain's good, bring out the other ones, but actually loses 2 more, so losing 5 wisps there, just trying to keep that Ancient of War alive. Very, very bad for Rain at this point. His Panda's sort of slowly coming back, I wonder, yeah, he has 1 wisp on his Entangled Goldmine. Really careless play here by Rain, I'm afraid. Maybe he just doesn't have the economy, or just is sort of using his macro for better things at this point. I think this one water elemental probably will be dispelled. This Panda coming back out actually, and immediately using a Breath of Fire, and will manage to get one. Yeah, the Rifleman does eventually go down, and this will. Warden and actually in desperate need of mana and health, and so uses a Moonstone. Probably will just be hiding as well. Now actually being a bit more aggressive with his play here. I'm a bit surprised by this play, but I guess he's just decided that he can't afford to wait any longer, because the first breakers are now coming out, and obviously breakers are a great counter to both the Panda and the Warden, and so he's just going